Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Sunday the 28th of August 2022. Before we get into the main crux of today's video, I'm going to share this tweet that was shared yesterday. It's from Josh Goldswain. Now who's he? Well, and this is it, at Millwall FC. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. My dad collapsed at the game today, and the response of the medical team and Reading FC medical team probably saved my dad's life. To the fans for helping stop the game, to each and every one of you, thank you. Yeah, so that's apparently the guy's okay. So to everyone that has commented, retweeted, liked, and DM'd me asking about my dad, it means the world. And I'll make sure he sees every one of them. Just an update: he's still at King's College Hospital under the cardiac team, but he's doing a lot better than he was at 3:30 yesterday. So yeah, you can see the original tweet was put up 12 a.m. Saturday night to Sunday morning. So probably outside the hospital at the time. I imagine the big geezer was there. Probably not in the best state of mind, but took some time to thank everyone for what happened at the game today. So apparently he's doing okay, and well, good luck to him, and hope he cracks on from that. So Mr. Goldswain, I assume his name is, but good luck to you, sir. Gave everyone a bit of a fright at yesterday's game. Now, while I was looking at this tweet, I found another tweet which kind of strange, kind of interesting, kind of infuriating at the same time. So let's have a crack at this. So this is from a Reading fan, and you get a lot of these kids nowadays. For some reason, they think their avatar on Twitter is a black footballer, and they have the flag in the thing. I think that's Senegal's flag. It might be Ghana. So I'm not too au fait on my vexology, but he says the Lino was on my train, and he said for the disallowed Millwall goal, he didn't even see that it was offside. He just gave it because the goal scorer hesitated after he scored. Cry laugh emoji, hashtag reading FC. And there you go, there he is, full kit wanker, still wearing his kit from the game, which looks like a Jubilee line train. I don't know if he's wearing the shorts and the socks as well. Probably is. Maybe he's studded shoes as well. I don't know. But that is the guy. That is him. His name's Simon Bennett. And yeah. So apparently he gives offsides even though he can't see what happened. That's the level of shit we're dealing with now. Where you give something even though you don't see it. Now, that's bad enough. That's bad enough, right? That he openly told everyone that he gave the offside decision, even though he didn't see that it was offside, because the goal scorer hesitated. That's absolutely stupid. But here is the thing. Now, who is Simon Bennett? Well, Simon Bennett is a referee, linesman, whatever you want to call him. He's from a little town in Cheshire East called Alsager. Now, where is Alsager now? Alsager is to the northwest of Stoke by about probably 10 miles or so. It's very close to Stoke-on-Trent, where the football club Stoke City is based. Now, why is that interesting? Because Gary Rowett used to manage Stoke City, and the Stoke City fans have a big massive stick up their arse about the performance of Gary Rowett as manager of Stoke City. So Simon Bennett, being from Old Sager, being from a village town so close to Stoke-on-Trent, does he have connections to Stoke-on-Trent? Are, let's say, members of his family or his friend group Stoke-on-Trent fans, Stoke City fans? Will he have picked up on their animosity towards Gary Rowett? And did that affect his decision to give an offside against a goal when he didn't even see that it was offside? This guy is an absolute fucking clown. He needs to fuck off to the circus. Someone should be, I don't know what they're called, is it PMGOL? I don't know if that's just Premier League, but report him, have a word, show them this tweet. Now this is a tweet. It's on Twitter. Is this true? Is this real? I don't know. That's a picture of that guy. That is him. That is him. That's Simon Bennett, the liner from the game. Are these kids lying? Maybe they are. Maybe they've been funny. You can see here they're kind of laughing. So are they having a joke? I don't know, but isn't it weird that the guy lives 10 miles from Stoke-on-Trent and he's giving decisions, especially when Bennett was involved in the goal. I think they were trying to say that he was the one that was offside. Of course, Bennett was at Stoke. Well, he was a Stoke player for about 6 months, and then they tried to bomb him out and loaned him out for 2 seasons in a row. Isn't that a coincidence? Gary Rowett from Stoke City, Bennett from Stoke City, and this geezer lives very close to Stoke-on-Trent. Isn't that a crazy coincidence? Like I said, this guy's a fucking clown. He should fuck off to the circus. Now we get into the real part of the video. That what a great picture that from the South London Press there. Great picture that is. Thanks for putting that at the top of your story aimed at Millwall fans when you want them to read your stories. Thanks for that. Yeah. This is their 4 takeaways. So 4 takeaways from Millwall's 1-0 defeat to Reading. Blanks have all ended in defeats, and changes could be on the cards of Burnley. Millwall saw their hopes of recording 6 straight home championship wins dashed on Saturday as Naby Sarr's goal took Reading to the top of the table. Here are Richard Corley's 4 takeaways from the match. Blankety blank, all 4 of Millwall's defeats this season have seen them fail to score, and they definitely struggled to create chances on Saturday. Goalkeeper Joe Lumley's performances have been questioned at both Middlesbrough and since he joined Reading this summer, but he had a pretty comfortable afternoon in SE16. You expected the Lions to put real pressure on the Royals' back line, but they only had 1 effort on target. Tom Bradshaw's 3rd minute header, which Lumley held at his near post as the host came out of the traps with real intent. Sadly, it wasn't to last. Yeah. As soon as they figured out what was happening and the formation, they thought, oh, okay, this is pretty easy. Okay. Danny McNamara's deflected cross came back off the woodwork in the second period, but this was an ineffectual attacking display. Millwall only won 3 corners, and it was only in the closing stages that they began to apply a bit more pressure. Yeah, but here's the thing. This season, apparently, he wants to play it. We're playing through the middle, apparently now. How are you gonna get corners if you don't go down the wings? If you go down the wings, you get a lot of corners. Because you can go to cross it in, and the defender will stick his leg out and deflect it. Sometimes it'll go out for a throw, sometimes it'll go out for a corner. And we're thriving on set pieces. Our open play goals are virtually non-existent. So we need to get corners and free kicks. If you're playing through the middle, you're not going to get corners. You really aren't. And we'll get onto that later as we look at the numbers. So in saying that, Reading had the best chances, and Jeff Hendrick and Shane Long both failed to convert when put through on goal to give Reading a more commanding victory. Yes, and we'll get into that as well. They seem to have a game plan, and they targeted a very specific area. What changes could we see at Burnley? Well, there were plenty of Mill fans hoping that Andreas Vogelsammer and Zion Fleming would start against Rolls. Instead, they only got the final 33 minutes of triple change, with Tyler Burry also introduced to the action. You got to fancy that Vogelsammer could get his first start at Burnley on Tuesday night. Bennett struggling to impact matches. Last season's top scorer has blanked in the opening 6 games and never really looked like ending that barren run, appealing hopefully for a penalty when Naby Sarr slid across to block his second-half shot. We always knew the lines would miss the dynamism and energy of Jed Wallace, coupled with the explosive pace of the sideline Mason Bennett, and unfortunately bringing in a ready-made replacement would have been beyond their budget. Burry has the ability to run in defences, but is still learning his trade. But here's the thing, what we should have done at Reading and what we should have done yesterday against Reading isn't, and what we changed it to, it's not going to work at Burnley. It's a different kettle of fish. It's an away game. We're going to have to play on the counter. Now, what we should have done yesterday is we should have played. We had to play with the ball. We had to break them down. We needed creativity, and that wasn't happening. But in terms of the Burnley game, we're going to need to have fast breaking counter. So you would probably want Honeyman, Fleming, and I would probably say Vogelsammer, because he could hold the ball up. If you pump it up to Vogelsammer, he can hold it up, and then Zion Fleming and Honeyman can run in behind. You probably do need to try and get some corners. So someone's going to have to try and get down to the touchline and put a few balls in. Who's that going to be? I don't know. Maybe Honeyman, Fleming. But yeah, I don't know. Sarr enjoys the den. Naby Sarr didn't have happy memories of playing at Millwall after being bullied at the back post when Matt Smith scored a stoppage time winner in the South London derby against Charlton a few years ago, but he took just 14 minutes to mark his raiding debut with a goal. For a side of the aerial prowess of Rout's team, it was disappointing to see them lose not one but 2 challenges in the box. Tom Hince's free kicks was helped on by Sam Hutchinson, and then Sarr beat Murray Wallace at the back post to head past Bartosz Białkowski. It was, that's not a typo. So they have a player called Sam Hutchinson. We have Sean Hutchinson, and it was kind of annoying in the commentary because they weren't saying the names; they were just saying Hutchinson. Yeah, which one, mate? Which one? Like their one, our one? What are you talking about? Then Sarr beat Murray Wallace at the back post to head past Bartosz Białkowski. Millwall have conceded 9 goals in 6 matches, one more than at the same stage of the 21-22 season, with their only clean sheet coming against the poor Stoke City on the opening day. Yes, Stoke City, which I think is the only team to have, the first team to have sacked their manager, the only team to have sacked their manager. Sunderland's manager's now gone to Stoke, so that's the only reason he's left. But yeah, so the first team to sack their manager is the only team we've kept a clean sheet against. Tests of character. Millwall have largely tended to find a reaction after a disappointing result, and it would be absolutely no surprise if they did exactly that against a Burnley side who were 5-1 victors at Wigan yesterday. But if you park the EFL Cup defeat to Cambridge, the Lions won 9 away matches without a win, drawing 5 of those. So with that, it's 10. What should give a bit of encouragement is that Vincent Kompany's Clarets have yet to win on their own patch, sharing a point apiece with Luton, Hull and Blackpool. Yeah, why is that though? Because I'm guessing those teams came and parked the bus, and Burnley are not good enough, or they're not gelled. They haven't gelled enough, and because they've got a lot of new players to work together to break teams down. Now Millwall you could break them down pretty easily now. Millwall's defence isn't what it was last season. Something's happened. It's gone to pot. It's just not working. Millwall had the second most draws in the 21-22 season, 15, and the most in the 20-21 season, 17. If anyone wins a bet based off that, I can send over my bank account and sort code for my commission fee. So he thinks it's going to be a draw. He thinks we're going to draw at Burnley. I would love it. I'll take a draw at Burnley right now. I'll take a 0-0 draw. I don't care. Again, so this game is a midweek game. It's a Tuesday game. Don't know yet if there's going to be match passes available, either on Lions TV or Burnley's version of Lions TV. So I don't know how that's going to be. Because the Swansea game was a midweek game, wasn't on Millwall TV. The Burnley game is also on a Tuesday. Don't know if that's going to be on Match Pass. So in terms of UK viewers, of course, if you're outside of the UK market, you get every game available to you. But in terms of UK viewers, I don't know if that's going to be a Match Pass available. So let's have a crack. We're going to move on to the stats now. Prepared to be bored or interested or both. So here we go. This is from experimental361.com. It's the XGs over the 90 minutes of the match. You can see how few shots Reading had, because every time the line goes up as a shot, they had 2 shots in the first half and they had 2 shots in the second half. And they realistically, genuinely should have scored 3 goals. They scored 1, should have scored 3. Millwall had 3 shots in the first half, which averages out of 1 every 15 minutes. Isn't that great? You watch half of football and you get 3 shots on the opposition's goal. Not very good ones either. Not very good ones, because the line doesn't go up very much. So these 3 would have been Bradshaw's efforts, I believe, before he got pulled off. Now, obviously, concerns about his injury, his fitness, his injury status. That's probably why he got taken off. But he was the one who was working hard, trying to make things happen. It didn't happen. But he's not even on the list on the right. So if you look on the right, usually ignore these top players by XG. Vogelsammer was on for 30 minutes, 0.3 XG just for him. So a third of a goal he should have got. Sarr, a third of a goal. So he did get 1 goal. So he overperformed his chance. He had a 33% chance of getting a goal, and it went in. Benicophobe, same. Benicophobe was on the pitch for 90 minutes. He had the same quality of chances, not quantity, quality of chances as Vogelsammer, who was on the pitch for a third of what he was. In terms of overall XG, Millwall was 1 and Reading was 0.6. And you can see here, once the changes, the substitutions made on 57. So 57. So we come out second half, we have 1 shot, they have 1 shot, but it's still flat. There's nothing going on. The changes get made, we have a chance, a couple of chances straight away. Best chance of the game, boom. The blue line jumps above the orange line or yellow line. And then we have a few more little not very good chances until we have 1 right at the end, which is probably our second best chance of the game. But we do not score. So there's the XG of the 90 minutes. So we're going to move on now to infogoal.net and have a look at this shot map, which is going to be interesting. Trust me. If you look in the middle above the red FT, the XG, they actually go the other way. This website go the other way. They say Millwall's XG was lower. They say 0.73 for Millwall and 1.03 for Reading. So Reading will bang on the XG, Millwall underneath. So there's the match events, the goal on 14, the 3 substitutions for 57 minutes. Even though everyone could see that after that first half, changes needed to be made. Now here's the thing: you could think, well, maybe. Now, not when a substitution gets made at half time, those players that are coming on, they're out warming up. They're warming up on the pitch. They're not in a dressing room hearing what the manager has to say. Sometimes the manager will say, right, in second half we're doing blah blah blah, we're doing this. And then you'll see one of the players come out because all the other subs are on the pitch warming up. and then you'll see one of the other players come out and join them, and you think, he's coming on now. He's going to come on at half time. So maybe Rowett wanted to get players that were coming. He knew they were coming. He was going to make changes. He knew that was coming on, but he wanted them in the dressing room to hear what he was going to have to say. And then afterwards, they had to warm up properly because we don't want them getting injured. So like another 10 minutes. 10 minutes to warm up. Is that realistic? I don't know. But that's how long it took for the changes to come in. So let's have a look at the shot map, which I love from this website. So here we go, 90 minutes. Here are the shots. There's Millwall shots. As you can see, now this season, we are mostly shooting from inside the area, central, between the two lines of the 6-yard box. That's what we're doing. This is what we're doing. It's clear that this is our style now. We're not shooting from the wings. There's not much coming in from the sides. This is Reading's attempts from that game. Look at this. You see anything there? You see the line there? It looks like Orion's belt. When you look up at the sky and you see the constellation of Orion, there's Orion's belt there. Why are they doing that? Why did they come down that particular avenue there? I think it's a thing that's called splitting the centre backs. Now, a lot of people have been criticising Scott Malone this season, even though he's had 2 assists, which is the most of any Millwall player. But especially his defensive duties, his tackling and whatnot. If he's not doing very well tackling and that, Murray Wallace or whoever's on that side has to come over and help him out. If the other 2 players don't shift over as well, maybe they can't, they've got to mark their man, there's going to be a gap there. And it seems that they were exploiting that gap, splitting between Murray Wallace and Hutchinson in the middle, between those 2 centre backs. Now, normally, a certain young man named Billy Mitchell will be playing, and he's very conscious because he gets told by Gary Rowett, do not go forward, do not shoot, we do not need you to score, we need you to tackle. Now, Shackleton, not been the best so far this season. Saville, very good, but he's going forward, he's attacking more. With no Billy Mitchell, who's dropping into that gap? If there is a gap. No one, it seems. So, was that a fair rate? Was that a fair result? Fairness rating 78.12 out of 100. So, kind of, but not quite. So let's have a look at first half, second half. First half. There's Millwall. Absolute dog shit. Bradshaw on 3 minutes. That was the one that was on target apparently. Bradshaw on 44 minutes. And Bradshaw on 20 minutes. The Bradshaw that got taken off, subbed off, not a phobia. The Bradshaw, so the player who had 3 chances, then you could say he had 3 chances, he didn't score them, so he didn't. Well, he only got 1 on target, so take him off. But you would think, why would you do that? He's producing, he's getting the product, he's having results. Surely you would take off the player who didn't get 3 shots on target. Now you could say, well, Bradshaw makes his own chances, whereas a phobia needs to be fed. He needs creative players feeding him. Here's Reading's shots in the first half. Fauna from 7 minutes, a long shot, and Sam Hutchinson, 14 minutes, and Naby Sarr. So that Hutchinson Sarr one was in the same movement. That was the same situation. But there you go. It's the second half. a lot better by Millwall. But they can't break down the Reading team because Reading are defending now because they've gone a goal up. And even if they defend as hard as they can, and they might concede one goal, they know Millwall can come back. They know Millwall have done it before. We did it against Swansea. We did it against Coventry. And I suppose a lot of the players and fans thought, well, we can do it again. Like, this is what we do. We come back. But it didn't happen, did it? It did not happen. And here we are in the second half for Reading. 2 chances, very good chances. Again, from a break, splitting the centre backs. That's what they did. Should have scored. Moving on now to I just want to say before I leave. So obviously, Shane Long's one, this one, that actually went wide. Some websites, when it goes wide, it doesn't count as an XG because how can it be an expected goal if it's not on target? So obviously, the reason why there's a difference between the one that I just shown you, this one, and this one, is I think that this one includes shots that were off target but were shots, well, chances, and this one doesn't. I believe that's the situation. Moving on, or maybe they count them in a different way. So we're moving on now to squad.com, and if we look on the right hand side, apparently the best 3 players on the pitch were Reading players. Saar 7.8, but all the other things are mainly Millwall, except for dribbles. Total shots, top 5 players who had the most shots were Millwall players. 4 of the top 5 players who had the most tackles were Millwall players. This is a weird situation here. So Millwall were poor at finishing. Yeah, that's true. Attacked through the middle. Yes, that's why we didn't get any corners. Had a large quantity of possession in their opponent's half and couldn't do anything with it. So here we go. 13 attempts for Millwall, 5 for Reading. 8 to 3 open play, 4 to 2 set pieces, and 1 to 0 counter attack. Reading with 5 shots, 1 goal. That's 20%. Here we go. Millwall mostly come down the right hand side, 41%, and Reading mostly come down the left hand side. Shot directions. Millwall 100% through the middle. 100%. 100%. So this is something that we're trying to do this season. Let's go through the middle. I literally have no idea why. What's the reasoning behind that? Because there's no Jed Wallace anymore? Because Danny McNamara can't really come forward? Like, why are we going through the middle? Shot zones. Again, not only through the middle, but inside the 18-yard box. But here's the thing, Reading, 20% inside the 6-yard box. I think that included their goal. Action zones. There wasn't much going on in the home third. Not much going on, it was mostly in the middle of the pitch and in Reading's third. Player positions. There you go. But one thing to notice with Reading, they are sitting a lot further back. And they didn't, what a lot of teams do, they pack the midfield because they know Millwall play 2 in the middle. They didn't do that. They sat back deeper. And their attacking players were playing further forward. Biakowski off of his line a lot farther out. A lot farther out. Mill playing quite a high line, as Reading playing quite deep. So let's get into the stats now. So crowd of 14,352. If you look at the top by the club badges, Average player rating for Mill 6.48, for Reading 6.68. So not much in it, but slightly to Reading. And what have we got on now? We've got it on total. Oh, let's go back to ratings first. So ratings, Naby Sarr, man of the match there. Shackleton 5.9. This is who you dropped Billy Mitchell for, yeah. Well done. All those fans are digging out Billy Mitchell. You happy about that? You happy about that? Bradshaw 6.4, even though he was on the pitch for 57 minutes, and the Foden was on the pitch for 90 minutes and got 6.3. So Bradshaw got a higher rating than a player who had more time on the pitch, but got taken off. And the subs that come on, they got a low rating too, didn't really do much. But here we go, 13 shots to 5. So, as we've seen, Bradshaw had the shots in the first half. Everyone else, Phobie, Saville, Hutchinson, Cooper, all had the shots in the second half, and we'll demonstrate that. Thus, we go to before the substitutions made. There. Oh, so Hutch had one as well. Okay. So there you go. Phobie had a single shot, but Bradshaw had 3, but he's the one who gets taken off. If we change it to just when the players came on, there. Then a Phobie gets three chances. Salmon gets 2. Cooper gets 2. Hutch still gets another 1. Going to back to 90 minutes. So possession wise, 57 to 42. Saville 5.9. Cooper 8.2. Murray Wallace 9. Malone 2.6. Although he did get subbed off, so that's not a lot. That is not a lot. What, are they not passing to him? Do they know there's something wrong with him? His form's off. Pass success percentage 67. That's not good. Normally a bit better than that. McNamara 58. Everyone else probably about right. Saville 79. Shackleton 79. Malone 90. Interesting, but he didn't have a lot of passes. Dribbles 4 to 9. So again, dribbling, running through the gap between the trying to break the centre halves, split the centre backs. Aerials 1, 33 to 33. That's a hell of a lot of aerial balls. 66 aerials in a game. That's literally 1 every 3 minutes, is it? Something like that. Yeah. Basically, I think it's like 1 every 90 seconds. Crazy. Cooper with 11, stand out. So winning them at the back and up front. He went up front at the end of the game as he's the new Matt Smith. Tackles though, 21 to 15. 21 to 15. But here's the thing. Did Reading need to tackle? I think they were probably told just block Millwall, let them make their own mistakes. Don't give them free kicks in and around the area. Don't tackle them and give the free kick away. Again, Shackleton not with a tackle. Cooper didn't have a tackle. Corners 3 to 1, as I've just said previously. If we're not going down the wings, we're not getting corners. If we're not getting corners, our set piece threat is nullified. What's Cooper doing? What's Hutchinson doing? What's Murray Wallace doing? They're doing less. Maybe that's why they're not getting their shots on target or their headers on target. Because they're not having the repetitions in the match, because we're not winning the corners, because we're going down the middle now and not down the wings. Dispossessed 5-13, so we were getting the ball off of them a lot. Taking the ball off of them a lot. Okay, so let's move on to the player ratings now in the list form, a bit more than what we've just seen, including. So let's get the ratings. 2 players above 7: George Saville, Sean Hutchinson. Yeah, George Saville did seem to be playing very well. Played very well against Norwich as well. And then we've got Honeyman. So from 56 minutes on the pitch, is the 3rd highest rated player. So he had less time on the pitch, still posts a decent rating. Who would have stinkers? Obviously the 2 subs, because they didn't have as much time on the pitch. But Shackleton, 84, 5.9, 5.9, below 6. Now, what's happening with Shackleton? Is he having an existential crisis? He's being released by Leeds, basically. They've let him go on loan to us, and there is a fee agreed in the loan deal, at the end of the loan deal. So is he just realising that he's not in the Premier League anymore? He's not in Leeds anymore. He's got the future ahead of him. He's only 22 years old. What's happening? Things are getting real. And is that messing with his head? I don't know. Benicophobe 6.28. Tom Bradshaw 6.42. Even though he had 56 minutes on the pitch to Benicophobe's 90. So yeah, touches. Murray Wallace most touches by far, 91. And then Jay Cooper 78, Sean Hutchinson 73, and then it drops off to George Saville, Danny Mack, Shackleton et al. So shots on target. Here we go. 3 shots for Phoebe, 0 on target. 3 for Bradshaw, 1 on target. Cooper 2-0, Hutch 2-0, Vogelsummer 2-0, George Saville 1-0. George Saville with 4 key passes. Did Fleming get any key passes? No. So offensive, we've seen most of these. Well, who was offside? Phoebe and Vogelsummer. So Phoebe, as we mentioned, the corrupt clown referee, Simon Bennett, giving ex-Stoke City forward Benicophobe offside when he didn't even see it. He didn't see it. What a fucking clown. Defensively, total tackles: George Saville, Danny Mack, Murray Wallace, Scott Malone, George Honeyman. So there you go. Tyler Berry coming on with 1 tackle as well. Interceptions: Hutch 4, Wallace 2, Danny Mack 1, George Honeyman 1. Clearances: Cooper 3, Hutch 1, Murray Wallace, and Tom Bradshaw as well, helping out there with the clearance. Now block shots, that's going to be low because they basically only had 5 shots in the whole game. So they had 5 shots. Let's have a look at, where's Reading? So how many shots did they have? They had 5. 2 of them was on target. The 2 of them was on target. 1 was blocked. So that's obviously Jeff Hendricks. 1 was blocked by Bart Biakowski. And Shane Long's 1 went wide, and the other ones as well. Hutchinson's 1 was deflected and went towards Naby Sarr, who headed it into the goal. So yeah. 5 shots, 2 on target. Millwall 13, 0 on target. Fantastic. Passing wise, key passes, whatever that means, but there they are. Passes overall, the most passes, Murray Wallace, most touches, most passes, figures. Cooper 65, Hutch 56, Saville 42. Down at the other end, yes, okay. In terms of passing accuracy compared to the number of passes, you've probably got to say on balance, what are we looking at? George Saville and Shackleton that stand out. Scott Malone here. 21 passes only in 56 minutes of play. But he has an accuracy of 90.5. What is happening with Scott Malone? He's having the most weirdest of weird seasons. Weirdest of weird seasons. Crosses, inaccurate crosses. So George Honeyman 7-4, Saville 6-3, as well as Danny Mack 6-3. George Evans, when he came on, 2 crosses, 0 accurate. Exactly the type of play you want to bring on when you're trying to chase a goal and get a draw in a game is George Evans, isn't it? Isn't it? No, it isn't. It really isn't. Vogelshammer getting crosses in as well because he's playing out wide for some reason. Ask the manager, I don't know. And so not only are the shots not on target, but the crosses are not accurate either. Fantastic stuff. Long balls, inaccurate long balls. This looks like a fucking shit show as well. Murray Wallace 15-4, Cooper 15-5, Bart 12-5, Hutch 10-5, that's better, half. Saville 6-1, Honeyman 5-1, Danny McNamara 5-3, Malone 2-2. So Malone's passing actually better, but he didn't really do much. Very weird. Probably because he was doing a lot of defending. Probably because, like I said, they were trying to split the centre backs. So if Malone's coming back trying to do defending, Murray Wallace goes over and helps him out. There's a gap there to be exploited. I think that about just sums it up. That's it. What can you say? I mean, you have 13 shots and you only have 1 on target. We have barely any corners, so our set piece game's gone to shit. They're not getting repetitions in match play. They might be doing it in training, but maybe before the start of the game warming up. But if you're only having 3 corners in a game, what's the point of Cooper? What's the point of Hutch? What's the point of Murray Wallace bombing forward and heading goal towards goal? Maybe they should try, like I said, try heading it sideways and see what happens. I don't know. But yeah, what a shit show. On to Burnley, on to Tuesday's game. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.